And we'll wrap up the last bit of Chapter 9 of The Hand of the Necromancer by Brad Strickland, going back to the beginning of the paragraph where the video cut out. Professor Childermass grumbled a bit, but he finally agreed. A black-haired young woman carrying a stenographer's pad came in and took down the information. At last, Sergeant Kluxikowski thanked them for their help and told them they could go. The two friends walked back to Fillmore Street together. The professor was in a bad mood, and he was smoking one of his Balkan-So brains as they strode along. Johnny didn't have the courage to remind him that he was trying to quit. Now that Johnny knew the police didn't intend to put him in solitary confinement, he felt better. Still, he sensed that he was in for more trouble. When they turned onto Fillmore Street, Johnny saw Sarah Channing sitting on his front porch steps. "Oh, no!" he groaned. "Now I'll have to tell her the whole story. Professor, what do you think I ought to do about my job?" Professor Childermass shook his head hopelessly. "Well, John, I'm afraid the policeman was right. Miss Farrington isn't one to forgive and forget, so she probably will fire you. I'll call her if you wish. Unfortunately, with Brother Perry's marvelous magical mementos now missing, I have nothing to bargain with. However, when we pin this job on dear Mr. Myrtle, I'll do everything I can to get you back into whatever good graces the lady has." "Hey, Dixon!" shouted Sarah as they approached. "I heard about the burglary on the radio, so I went right over to the museum." She came jogging up. In a quieter voice, she said, "Only Miss Farrington told me you don't work there anymore. Is that true?" "Yeah," said Johnny miserably. "Yeah, I guess it's true." It had been a long time since he had felt this heartbroken. He had let everyone down. Miss Farrington, of course, but even worse, Professor Childermass, Grandma and Grandpa too. He could only hope that the professor was right and that somehow he could clear his good name and find the real thief. But at the moment, that seemed like a forlorn hope. And that's the end of Chapter 9.